Greetings everyone and welcome back to Adventures with Dice. I'm Rob, your host for these videos, and today we're going to be unboxing a box from Free League Publishing. Most of you know Free League. They've become very well known in the last few years with contributions like Vaesen and Tales from the Loop, Things from the Flood, the Alien role-playing game, and much more. They've been Forbidden Lands, I think, was one of their recent ones. And they've been snatching up intellectual properties everywhere they can. About a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, my contact at Free League messaged me to verify my shipping address because they were sending me, and I already know what's in it, but they were sending me a box for the Blade Runner role-playing game, which just came out, or just the Kickstarter just finished for it. And they've sent me product before. I give honest reviews on the product. Some of it I really like, some of it I don't. I know that Blade Runner uses the dice step system instead of the dice pool system that Alien uses, and I really like the Alien system. The only experience I've had with the dice step system was in Twilight 2000, which I honestly did not care for. I think it's a very well produced game. It's a bit crunchy for my taste for Free League games, and I'm sure that it's going to do great. It's just not for me, and that's the only experience I've had with the dice step system. So I know that they use that in this, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to love the Blade Runner game. I do know there are some differences between the way it was done in this and the way it was done in Twilight 2000, so I'm looking forward to exploring that. But today is going to be about just unboxing, seeing what they sent me, and then after I've had a chance to read through everything and possibly run at least one game with it, come back and do a full review. I have no doubt that the product in here is going to be top-notch because everything Free League does is top-notch. It's just a matter of, will I enjoy the gameplay or not? Like I said, some of it, Vaesen, I really enjoyed. I've got the Vaesen stuff. I've got most of the Alien stuff. The Tales from the Loop, I read it, never ran it. I did run Twilight 2000, didn't really care for it. But that's neither here nor there. So, this is the box that came in. It's a pretty big, hefty box. And like I said, today we're just going to be unboxing and looking at the content within. What did they send? I've already removed the shipping labels. We wouldn't want to accidentally give away the location of the Sanctum Thinkatorum here. So, now it's time for a segment of our show that we like to play called How Dull is Rob's Knife? So, let's start cutting the tape on this bad boy. This isn't usually the part I have a lot of trouble with. It's usually getting into the card packs and stuff in here. Alright, box open. And packing peanuts galore. You can see that it is very well protected in the way they sent it. I'm just going to pull everything out, and then we'll take it one by one and look at it. So the first thing is the Blade Runner role-playing game, Game Runner screen. Try to keep the glare off of it a little bit. The second thing they sent me is the Blade Runner role-playing game. This is the core rule book. Okay. Let's see what else is in here. Got it. I did not know they were going to send this. Oh, that's heavy. This is the Blade Runner role-playing game starter set. Alright, so we got all three of those items. See if there's anything else in here. Don't think so. Nope. Alright, so we're done with the box. Okay, like I said, first things first, I'm going to just kind of take a look at stuff and give my first impressions on it. I can't really go into the rules too much because I haven't read it yet. But the art looks fantastic. The main book opens up with Central Los Angeles map and everything in sectors, all in color. That's really cool. Okay, we've got the black pages like we did in the Alien book, but it doesn't seem to have that really strong smell from the black ink that the Alien book did. Your table of contents broken down very much in the same style as Alien. Looks like we got a lot of fluff. Again, the art is beautiful through here. Some background fluff. Megacorps rise, planets fall. Looks like we got history. We got a timeline in here for Blade Runner. Welcome to Los Angeles 2037. And then it's again giving you information of life on the force. So, you know, being a cop, uneasy allies, humans, replicants. Key themes like sci-fi action, character drama, corporate intrigue, moral conflict, and soul searching. And then it goes into role-playing Blade Runner, the players, the game master, and this is the core rules basically of the game. And I'm not going to do a page by page. This is the core rule book. It's going to come with everything you need to play the game rules-wise. Looks like you have kind of a life path system for character creation. And let's see, does it give us our types? Okay, our types of characters in here. We have the analyst, the city speaker, the doxy, the enforcer, the fixer, the inspector, the skimmer, and that is it. Then it goes into skills and specialties. Back of the book, flip a little further back here. Let's see, more game rules, rounds and initiative, actions, range combat and how it works. Let's see, A Tale of Two Cities, which is, I believe, maybe this is the adventure. It's giving information on city life, law and order, not the show. I think this is just more description of downtown Los Angeles. And the different sectors are broken down in here. So far, it's a gorgeous book. I mean, I can't lie. The art is on par, every bit as good as the Alien role-playing game, which I thought the art to it was phenomenal. So, rules on HQs, leveraging assets, tools of the trade. So this is your gear, which is kind of neat the way they did the gear. You go into the tools of the trade section, and all of the gear is like these little blueprint diagrams of what it looks like, how it works. But even your badge is a piece of gear. Let's see, baseline test, the armory. Your guns are broken down the same way. I wonder if they put gun cards in this game like they did in Alien. You got some vehicles. Several different vehicles listed in here. And we're almost to the end of the book here. Running Blade Runner, Chapter 9. Okay, sci-fi action, playing scene by scene. I think this is kind of just a little GM section for how to run the game. And charts and tables, index, and your character sheet and your shift sheet. So there's your character sheet and your shift sheet for listing events that happen on shifts. All right, so first impression is, as always, the art is phenomenal. The book binding and everything is really well done. Seems very well put together. I love the layout, the organization. It's easy on the eyes for reading, the way it's broken into chunks. And I am looking forward to giving it a read through. But that's just my impressions on the main book. Let's look at what else we got here. This is the screen, and let's see if I can get this open. I think my knife may have actually done its job. Yep. Well, this plastic does not want to come off this thing. So that's just the cover sheet off of the GM screen there. Or the Game Runner screen, excuse me. A deluxe Game Runner screen in landscape format for the official Blade Runner role-playing game. It features Martin Grip's art on the outside and a host of useful tables and important information on the inside, while keeping your notes hidden from your players. So, I don't use GM screens very much anymore, but I do like them. So let's take a look at the art. The art is very cool, pretty evocative of Blade Runner itself. Trying to turn it to where you can see it without having my glare, the lights on it. And like most of their screens, the inside has lots of useful tables that are used for running the game. Of course, I folded that up backwards. But other than that, it's just a GM screen. It is that really hard, thick cardboard, so it should last quite some time. And let's pop the starter set open and see what we have in here. I always like it when they do these starter sets. You can put a lot of stuff in here generally, and I like these hard, thick boxes for keeping game stuff in. That's really useful. I wish more game companies would do that. All right, see, that's a really well-made box. All right, first we have the Do Not Eat gel. So if you were opening this box and thought that there might be food in here, this is not food. Don't eat this. Then we have our standard Free League Games catalog, where they're advertising, you know, Alien, a lot of the properties they have, The One Ring. Still haven't played that. Tales from the Loop, Forbidden Lands, Twilight 2000, Symborum, Basin, however you say it, Morkborg, Mutant Year Zero, and Coriolis. And on the back is just another thing for, oh, Tales from the Loop, the board game. So, toss that at the side. Alright, what do we have here? We have a set of dice. Like I said, this doesn't use the dice pool system like Alien does. This uses the dice step system, which I think the only thing that really annoys me about the dice step system is, you know, because you're stepping up. Like, the better you are, you get a better die in the die step system. So the dice range from D6 to D12, D6 being the lowest or the worst. Now, the way it works out on the character sheet is, okay, so if you have a rating of D, then that is a D6. That's the worst, other than an F, which I don't even know if they have in this game. But a D is a D6, so that's the bottom of the rung. A C is a D8, a B is a D10, and an A is a D12. So the higher the letter rating you have, the bigger the die. I don't know why they didn't just list the dice. Like, you either have a D6 in this, or a D8, or a D10, or a D12. There may be some nuance to it that I don't get, as far as that goes. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, whatever. It's unlike the Alien one, where you just have D6, but you have both regular D6 and then you have stress dice that go into it the more stressed you are. So this has, I want to say 2 of everything. Let me look at it. Let's see what we got here. So we got 2 6s. And the way you get successes is by rolling the dice. And generally you'll have a skill and an attribute that go together. So you'll have 2 dice to your dice pool. So you might have a D6 and a D8. You know, a D6 from your stat and a D8 from your skill or something. And you would roll them, and you're trying to get 6s. 6s are success. So, and in these dice, which are kind of cool, the 6 on the D6, I'm not sure how well you can see that, has this cool eye emblem on it. And that is a success. Everything else is just a number on there. The D8 is a 6, 7, or 8 is a success. So your regular numbers look like a regular D8, but then when you get around to 6, 7, and 8, they have the 6 and then the eye emblem. So that is 6, 7, and 8 is a success. On your D10s and D12s, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are successes. But 10, 11, and 12, is it 10, 11, and 12? Yes, 10, 11, and 12 count as 2 successes. So obviously, the higher the dice, the more successes you can get, because 6s are successes, and you do get 2 of each of the dice to use in this. You don't have to have special dice for the little indicators. Any D6 and D12 dice will work just fine. All right, we have a deck of cards, or a pack of cards, should I say. Let's pop that open. Probably going to regret opening this because we're going to get everywhere and I don't have anything to put them in. Let's see, they are, looks like we have, well, I'd say NPCs, but these are they're listed as mug shots. So this is Leah, and it's Mugshot A. So I assume these are for the adventure. And we have several character mugshots in here. I'll show you each one of them. Again, the art's really good. I may not show you every one of them because it looks like there's a ton of these. Yeah, there's like 20 something of these. There's a whole bunch. Alright, set those aside. Free League games use the card initiative system. Well, 1 through 10 for drawing initiative, and you get cards for that. You don't have to use them. They have cool artwork on the back of the initiative cards. You don't have to use these type of cards. You could use regular poker cards. Let's see. Then you have, let's see what kind of cards these are. This is Chase Maneuver. So you have cards for doing maneuvers. Like that. I guess this is that's a chase maneuver. That's a chase maneuver. These are all chase maneuver cards, and they're things like pursue, flee, hide, block. All right. Apparently there's a lot of those too. And then we have foot chase maneuvers, ground chase maneuvers, and aerial chase maneuvers. And I'm not going to go through each one of them because it's literally a stack like that. So these are all going to go in some kind of little card box or something to go back in here. All right, and then we are left with a big stack of stuff. All right, so starting from the back. Wow, that's pretty. That's pretty. So we have a big map, which is, that's odd. That's really weird. Like they did some border art, but it's like it's black on one side, and then like the Los Angeles sector map on the other side. It's really beautiful on one side. It's kind of weird. I don't know if that, maybe that plays into the adventure or something. Then we've got some smaller maps that are for the adventure, I'm sure. Animoid Roll. So, if I quit dropping stuff. Let's see. Apartment 52. These are pretty thick quality paper too, so they'll probably last a good while. We have a place called the Snake Pit. The Memory Lab, which is another double-sized one. I'm sure these are all for the included adventure. And let's see, what do we have here? We have a Hollywood sign, looking down on it. Alright. We have Kill Magazine. These are basically all mapped floor plans. We have Apartment 16. In case you wanted to move into Apartment 16, you now know what it looks like on the inside. We have Jupiter Moonbus. Some type of vehicle. And then we have a copy of the Shift worksheet for playing your game. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 pre-generated characters. We have William Novak, who is an inspector. And then all of his stat stuff is on the back. Let's see, we have, I guess it's Olson Baker, Human Enforcer. And stats on the back. Let's see, they did, we have FN9 2.39 Fenna, who is a Doxy, and stats on the back. And our last one is Percival, JL2 7.80, which is an analyst. And guess what? Stats on the back. Alright. There's a ton of stuff in this box. Now, that's one thing I definitely got to give Free League, because not only do they put out really cool products, well-made products, their starter sets are probably some of the best in the business. I think this is going to retail for about $50. That's what the Alien one retails for. But their starter sets come with a ton of stuff in it, as compared to other starter sets from other companies that might be like, you know, sorcerers that live near the beach, who basically put a big filler block of cardboard in their starter set to make it seem like you're getting a bunch of stuff when you're not. You're getting very little. So then we have the LAPD envelope. It's kind of cool. It's like a case file envelope. Let's see what's in it, because it feels pretty hefty. I feel like there's a lot in here, and there is. All right, wow. Lifetimes, a new life awaits you in the off-world colonies. A chance to begin again in the golden land of opportunity and adventure. It's an ad pamphlet for Arcadia. We have, these are player handouts is what these are. They're excerpts So this is an excerpt from the complete works of William Blake. These are probably going to be clues that you pick up as you're playing through the adventure. And I'm assuming these are NPCs or perhaps suspects, but you've got these NPC/suspect cards. Several of them. Then we have, this is I'm sure a player handout. Yep, this is handout L. Young lady here. Then we have Greetings from Hollywood, which is a handout that is made to be like a big postcard. This one's kind of neat. The Independent Sentinel, which is a handout that is made to look like a newspaper. That's pretty neat. I like the handout thing. I've always liked that with Call of Cthulhu, and I think it's neat they do it in this game too. We have Kill Weekly, Massacre on Nightclub Row, which looks like a some type of, it's all the news that's fit to kill. So it's like a news source or a magazine. And then we have Synth Magazine cover, which is another player handout. All of these are going to be clues your players pick up to solve the mystery that comes in the game. More player handouts. This is like a video screenshot. These are room interiors. That was really cool. I like that. Alright, so that's all the handouts for the adventure. Let me see if I can get all this back in the envelope here. And then we have 2 books left that go in the starter set. And hey, everything slides back in here pretty good so far. Awesome. There's a lot of it. I don't think I've ever even gotten a Cthulhu adventure that had that many handouts in it. And I'm sure you could probably reuse some of these handouts in other games or other adventures that you run. That tends to be the case with a lot of this stuff. So we have 2 books that come in here. We have Blade Runner, the role-playing game, which is just the rules. And this is going to be your core rules to the game, because this is very, very similar to the way they did with the Alien book. It doesn't really have character creation stuff. It explains. I don't think it has character creation stuff. Let me check. It does not. It's got timeline, your Blade Runner, explains attributes and attribute scores, explains skill levels and gear, and it's basically going to explain all the information that's on the pre-generated characters, which unfortunately if you have 5 friends that want to play, somebody's going to sit around and watch because this only comes with 4 characters. But those little starter books are generally pretty good. And then we have Blade Runner, the role-playing game, Electric Dreams. And this is Case File 1. And it looks to be a pretty hefty adventure. There's a lot to it. How many pages is this? It is, looks like 54-page adventure that comes in here. And I'm not going to go into all of it, but yeah, you can see how everything that I was showing you before, these are all handouts for this adventure. I don't know how good the adventure is. I have not read it, but it is something I will read and check out. And that's everything that they sent me. That's, well, quite honestly, everything I could possibly need to run Blade Runner. And I know that I will at least run the Electric Dreams at some point just to see how it plays out. But I'll do a full video later on after I've had a chance to read and run everything. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe to the channel. Join the Patreon. Link is in the description. And until next time, my friends, good gaming and good luck.